Hello there. So today I'm going to be talking about that feeling, the feeling that you have when you pick the phone up and somebody tells you that you're going to have an Ofsted inspection. Um, yeah, that's what I'm going to be talking about. So my name's Andrea Jackson at New GNU. We support training providers to know the real impact that their provision is having on the learners. And we do this by objectively asking the right questions and helping the provider to improve. And this ensures that the business is comfortable during any inspection and enables sustainable growth. So work with me. Phone goes, it's a Monday morning. That's what's happening now. It's a Monday morning. Phone goes, and there's going to be lead inspector. There's going to be a inspection, remote inspection, because that's what's happening at the moment, over 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday, on your training provider business. What is your first thought? Is your first thought fine, or is your first thought, oh my days, there's a lot to do? If it's a second, we can actually help you on that. In fact, we've sent quite a few posts out about that we do inquiries on training providers. And what we're doing is asking questions that we know are asked around the EIF inspection framework. And my question to this is, okay, so what do we do with that? What do we do with the information? Now, what happens is that over a 6-week period, we work with a training provider and we go through samples of a learner, ask the same questions, find themes, talk to the training provider, find out if this is something that we need to go down to discover more. And then in the end, it's a long-winded process, but at the end, there's a report that says, you know what? Most of your learners are saying this, and so say, and this isn't from any inspection that I've done. So say that the majority of learners are not feel because they're telling us how they feel. Do not feel they're getting the right amount of support while they're working at home because the training provision has changed. So what we do is, okay, there's a selection of learners that are saying this. A good selection of learners. So actually, how are we going to change that? So what sort of support are you going to be putting in? So we come up with a report, and we've listened to the learners. We've made really decisive decisions about what needs to be done, because this is affecting most of your learners. This is affecting some of your learners. This is affecting individual learners. That's the sort of thing that we talk about. Make sure, obviously, that you're involved at all points. So we've done that. So what happens afterwards? So now what we could do, we could give you the report and say, okay, off you go. And that way, the inquiry will fail. It will fail, and it will fail because unless you put the things that we've told you to the recommendations, that's the word, the recommendations forward. If you move those forward, that'll work, won't it? That'll work. If you don't, your provision will stay the same. But the positive to that, at least you'll know what the inspection will find. In a lot of cases, I have to say, in inquiries that we do, training providers will actually say, oh yeah, we knew that. Oh yeah, well, we're just about to change that. Or we've got that planned. You need to do it then, don't you? It's no good knowing about it because your learners, you knew, and yet your learners are still saying. So actually, if the learners are saying something and you have improvements that you need to do them. Don't plan them. Well, obviously plan them, but put them in place. But what we then do for you is that we come in and we work with you, because it's really, really important for you as a training provider to celebrate that you have got a company coming in that's objective, that's looking at your learners, really wanting to know what the learners are saying, that you can then get a real relationship with your learners then, because you can say, do you know what you said and we did? What a celebration, what a relationship that the training provider has with their learners, that they can absolutely prove that not only do they talk to their learners and listen to their learners, they do something. The one thing I do find is that from a non-objective point of view, it is very, very difficult to talk to learners that you are responsible for and talk objectively, because by the very nature of it, what will happen is that they will say something, well, I'm finding that this isn't good, or this is happening and I'm not happy about it, and you will automatically go into your work mode and say, well, the reason for that is, well, even if there is a reason for that, if a learner is asked by anybody else, that's what they're going to come out with. That's what they're going to come out with, because they still feel aggrieved. So it's really, really important to take all these grievances that they have, and in some cases they're perceptions, aren't they? The perceptions of this is what the learner's feeling at this moment in time, or this is what the learner knows at this moment in time. It's really important to then go back to the learners and go, look how interested we are in whether or not we are meeting your needs. Not only do we get a completely different company in to actually analyze what you're saying, these are all the things that you've helped us to improve. Now that immediately brings the learner on your side so that they're part of your team. Because what we need to have in these remote times when most of us are working at home, we've got the learners maybe on furlough, they're working from home. We, the trainers, are working from home. More than ever, need to feel a group, need to feel bonded with each other, need to feel that we're on the same team. It is very, very easy that once the Zoom call finishes, that you don't feel that you're on that team anymore, that you do feel that it's your team. You are the only one on that team. And I have worked from home for forever. And I know that feeling of, you know what, I've spent all day at home plowing through stuff, talking to stuff. And at the end, I think it might be Andrea Jackson PLC rather than a big national company who I work for, who I know I work for because I get a salary at the end of the month. That doesn't happen now. But that's the point. Yeah. So you need to have your team, including your learners and your employers, to be part of that team, so that if you've put everything together and you've made all of those improvements, whoever picks that phone up, Ofsted, whoever picks the phone up and they say, we're coming to inspect you, you can say, crack on. Absolutely. Please come in. We will open the virtual doors for you and virtually show you around. However, and even if, going back, even if you haven't managed to put all of the improvements in because you're on that journey, you can show. But it's important that your learners know this. It's important that your learners know that you are putting these changes together. You just haven't done it all, because that's what they will say. Now, I have never, ever, ever been an advocate of being Ofsted ready. For those who know me will know this. I've never been an advocate for being Ofsted ready. I truly believe that quality should be consistent throughout every single learner journey. So if we are always talking to the learners, and there are companies that are now bringing us in over the years, so that, because what we can then find is that if an improvement has been put into place, we can actually say, do you know what, and it's working, or do you know what, that's not working. There's still a lack of understanding. For you, that's an open window, isn't it? It's an open window on your training provision. It shows you that, yes, we are meeting the needs of the learners. You need to include your employers as well, which we can do. We can also talk to employers, but you need to include your employers as well. But let's just concentrate on learners for now. You know that the learners' needs are being met, and that when Ofsted talks to the learners, you know what they're going to say. And you know what? That really does make for a peaceful sleep, because there is nothing worse. I have been through it. There is nothing worse than having that call and then having 4 nights of not sleeping, because you don't sleep before and you certainly don't sleep during, while you're getting the feedback back. We don't want that. And do you know what? It's really quite easy to do it when you've got somebody else doing it for you, because it is a long task. It does take a good 6 weeks. But the point is, that's what we do. We can come in, talk to your learners, find out what's going on, let you know, and work with you to improve. Now, if you think that we could support you in any way, shape or form, just send me an email, which is why there's that email ticker tape, which I can never follow. There you go. Just email me on andrea@new-gnu.com. No obligation at all. Have a chat. This is what we do. This is how we can help you. Would it work? And if it does, that's great. We'll follow on the conversations. That's all you've got to do. You know what? You've got nothing to lose. You've got absolutely nothing to lose by ringing, because all you can say is, well, it won't help me. But if you've not had a Ofsted report before, or Ofsted inspection, this will at least give you the confidence to go through your first one. If you have had an EIF inspection and you didn't do so well, again, this will show you where you need to put your improvements, so you're better resourced and focused, because it really does focus you. If you've got to the stage that actually I've only had the CIF and I've not actually been through an EIF inspection, we can show you, this is what we can do about it. Everything that I'm offering is based on experience. I think that's the most important thing for you to know. This is how after the inspection that I went through, I thought this is a much better way of doing it, and trust me, it is. So if you're interested, want to chat, email me on andrea@new-gnu.com. I'll give you a ring, and we can have a chat and go through. Thank you so much for watching. The people that are watching live, thank you very much. The people that will be watching later, I know there's a lot of you in the comfort of your own home. I keep saying that, although nobody leaves their own home at the moment, with a cup of coffee. Then again, thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. So if you want any support, or you feel we might be able to help, email me on andrea@new-gnu.com. Obviously, there's a hyphen in there. Otherwise, find us on Facebook and LinkedIn. New GNU on Facebook, New GNU on LinkedIn. Follow us, like us. We love all of that stuff. And that's it. Okay, so I will speak to you soon. Trust me, you'll have, I know that you're getting a bit, there's a lot of content coming from this page. And I will be speaking to you soon. Okay, bye-bye then.